This is sequence 2, level 2 of our movement program. Most of you have been with me already. We did the first movement program, sequence 1, where we were focusing a lot on just general movements and breathing and grounding. We'll always start with breathing, grounding, and then we'll go to the next sequencing. And today, what I'm going to talk to you about is a couple of different things. One is movement and mobility, and the difference between movement and mobility. There's a couple of differences, and essentially movement is the intention of creating some directional movement. The concept of mobility is how strongly can we do that, how much flexibility do we have through the movement, and how much stability and balance we have through the movement, range of motion. So essentially, movement is just the act of moving. Mobility is the act of moving with strength, flexibility, and stability. And that's really what we're trying to get to. But here's kind of how the hierarchy of this works. Stability and flexibility and range of motion awareness, body awareness comes before strength. These are foundational. So the act of stability and flexibility comes first. Once we have that to the best of our bodies, wherever we happen to be and wherever your body is today, on top of that, we build strength. Okay, so nice foundation to build strength on. So that's kind of the concept between movement and mobility. And this is sequence 2 of the mobility program. And we're talking about planes of movement. So the body essentially has 3 major body planes that we move through. One is the frontal plane. So if I was to cut my body in half, slice it in half this way, I would basically go front and back. So that allows frontal plane movement of forward and back. So it's flexion, spinal flexion, and then spinal extension. That's plane number 1, and that's the one we're going to be focusing on today. Plane number 2 is the transverse plane. So if I cut myself in half this way, sliced, big chop right at the waist, then you have the upper and lower rotational movement that we have side to side. And if I cut my body straight down the middle this way in front, then I split in half where I do the abductive or lateral type movement to the side. Okay, so these are the 3 main body planes, and our golf swing requires us to do all of them at the same time in that very fast speed. So today we're going to be focusing on the frontal plane. The next sequence of our mobility program, which is the next class you're going to do, is going to focus on the transverse plane, which is a lot of rotation. And the last one is that sagittal plane, where we do the tipping side to side and put all of them together in movements. Okay, so that's what you got to look forward to over the next few weeks. So I'm happy that you'll be here. A little bit of water is really all you need. And the mat. Now, we're going to start in a sitting position. And as I mentioned, I'm going to sit on the block. But as I mentioned, I like to start every movement session really with a few moments of just setting intention of what we're doing. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm just going to adjust the lights a little bit because I'm a little bit backlit. So bear with me 1 second. Make that adjustment. So you can see me a little bit better, I hope. Okay, 1 sec. There we go. Should be okay. Okay. So I like to sit up on a block. It just makes it a little bit easier for my tight hips. And arms by the side. Lift your shoulders up to the earlobes, all the way up to the top. You know, tuck your head down, lift the shoulders up, take a nice big breath, and then just relax the shoulders, and then keep the shoulders down. Now close your eyes, soften your body, and let's just breathe here for a few moments together, starting with a breath in through the nose. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Just feel your body fill up with air. Hold the breath for a moment, and a full exhale. Contract your muscles so that you get the full breath out. And then inhale through your nose. Big breath coming in. Hold for a brief moment. And a long exhale. So keep on with this very focused intentional breathing pattern. Breathe in through the nose, try and count to 4 or 5, hold for 1 or 2, and then release again, exhaling for 4 or 5. And with empty lungs, you'll hold for 1 or 2. Just a little bit of cycle of breathing. Taking control over our own body's thermostat also controls our state, high or low or somewhere in between. And just allows us to be really present for this time that we're here together doing these movements, paying attention, focusing on body movement and breathing. And if this is not something that you do often, I encourage you to try incorporating this into just a ritual every day, maybe in the morning or midday or any time really, just to take a quick break, even if it's for 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, just to sit with eyes closed. You can lie down as well and just breathe. Nothing else, just breathe, allowing the body to really soften and breathe. Okay, open your eyes, everyone. Open your eyes. Keep on breathing with that breath pattern. Big in through the nose, out through the nose. Turn your head to the right a little bit. Just a little bit of head rotation to the right side. And bring it over to center. Take it to the left. Back through the middle, over to the right. And come back to middle one more time. Lift your head up. Just the head moving, and then drop your head down with the chin tucking into your chest. Press your chin firmly into your chest as you lift your head up. Okay, while we're in this position, I'm just going to lean forward a little bit and reach the arms forward, just tipping into this flexion, spinal flexion. So the idea is not to curve your spine over. You're sitting up fairly straight. You're just going to tip over as much as you can with the legs being wide open. So I feel my right side, the right hip for me is a little bit restricted. So I'm going to adjust a little weight and then fold. Just breathe in and out nice and slow. And then slowly come on up. Bring your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders back and just look up. Not really a back bend, just more of a chest opening position here. The shoulders open and I look up. And again, come back to a neutral position. All right, gang, we're going to stand. Everyone stand up, please. And this is where we get into, we'll also do this every single time when we do a movement practice, is we're going to do our CARs. Now, CARs stands for controlled articular rotations. And this is also something that you can incorporate into your practice and your game, particularly those times when you don't have a lot of time. You can do CARs. Think about, we're going to essentially start from the top and work our way down. And so you can do this for 5 minutes or you can do this for 15 minutes. It just depends on how much time you have, but super, super good to do this before you actually practice or before you have your golf game or before you're getting out into the range. All right, arms by the side. I'm going to just move my weight a little bit side to side on the movement, and then front to back on the movement. So I'm just trying to really figure out here where my body weight is into my feet. I'm trying to get a really full grounding type position. Do some circles. Trying to distribute weight equally throughout the bottoms of my feet. So not too much to the back, not too much to the front, not too much to the sides. This again is body awareness. And close your eyes if you have the balance and just figure out where the weight is happening as you shift your body into a circular motion. All right, we're going to stop moving. Bend the knees slightly, bring your arms to your side and make a couple of fists. Now start pressing down into the floor as if you're trying to break something underneath your feet. Ground force resistance will dictate that whatever pressure you place down towards the ground, it's going to press right back up again. So this is the same thing that applies when you're getting set to play golf and to create your swing. You want to ground down so you have that strength. You're not just hovering onto the surface of the ground, but you're part of the ground. Okay, so you have to, in your mind's eye, think about how to make that happen internally, contracting muscles to press your feet down firmly. Arms by your side. Now you're going to lift your shoulders. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're going to roll the head again. So let's start with the head. Turn your head to the right. Keep it there. Drop the ear to the shoulder and look up to the ceiling. As you do a head circle, taking the head to the left, ear drops to the shoulder, and then chin down to chest as I drag the head all the way across. Now I'm pressing firmly into the floor, going all the way to the right. Really exaggerate this head circle. Go all the way to the left. Back through center position. Hold the middle, lift your head up as far as you can go. Look up, up, up. Don't arch your back. Just isolate the neck. Drop the chin to chest. Back to neutral and then left. Look to the left. Drop the ear to the shoulder. Look up. And we'll do a head circle in the other direction. I want to do it slowly to discover range of motion. Over to the right. Drop. Chin across the chest, do a full head circle in the other direction. And again, coming back to a neutral position. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see me. We're going to do a little bit of a forward and back of the neck, of the head actually tipping on top of the neck. So I'm going to stand straight and not shooting my chin forward. I'm pressing my head forward and back to create a double chin. So it's a forward and back, forward and back. And just discovering and being aware of range of motion. Turtle out of its shell sort of thing here, forward and back. Okay, I'm going to stop that, come into a neutral head and neck position, arms by your side, lift the shoulders all the way up, and then send the shoulders back behind you, arms straight. Bring the shoulders down and forward. We're trying to create a circular motion. With the arms going through the shoulder socket. Again, this is a ball and socket joint, so it has a great range of motion and quite circular. And then we're going to go in the other direction. Lift your shoulders up, roll forward, back, down, and try not to move the spine in any extension or flexion. Just work through the shoulders, isolating, activating, and then integrating the shoulder muscles. Okay, and let that go. So shake it out a little bit. Nice work, everyone. Lift the right arm up, right arm down, left arm up. So when I do these movements, there is no spinal flexion or extension. The arm goes up without body movement. The arm goes back. So both arms up, both arms back. Try not to flex forward or extend back as you reach up. We don't want the extension. Stay neutral and back. So again, just discovering range of motion. Up and back. Okay, standing in neutral position, lift the right arm forward. Now draw the arm across your chest as far as you can go without any rotation. So no body rotation, just the arm drags as far as you can go. Keep your hips square. Now notice here if you can go any more. Can you go any more? This feels like it's the end range of motion. What if you take the other arm and give yourself a little assist? Do you have more range of motion? Typically, yes. So I can go further if I give myself an assist, but as soon as I let go, the arm springs back. So that's telling me that I do have range of motion, but I don't have enough strength to just pull the arm across. At least not to the full end range of motion, okay? And we'll try the other side. So actually don't. Come back to center. Sorry guys, one part of that was missing. Arm out. Now the arm comes out, again, no extension or flexion, and send it back a little bit further. Wide open, and then we're gonna go right to the front again, drag it across. Go as far as you can go, then give yourself a little assist so you can feel the end range of motion. I've got quite a bit. So it feels like a really nice stretch here across the right shoulder. And I'm going to open it up. Hold it neutral and then go a little bit further without any spinal extension. Neutral and then the arm down. Okay, shake that out. Let's try the other side. Always good to check left and right also, just to compare. So right hand to the belly, left arm goes up, shoulder height, and start to drag across. Equal weight into both feet. Keep going until you can't go anymore. Your body will want to compensate by rotating, so don't allow that. Stay neutral. Arm goes across, and that's it. And then give yourself that little assist without turning the lower body. Just drag the arm, open up that shoulder socket. Good. And back through neutral. And I'm just going to stand straight and then see if I can send the arm back a little bit more. Nice shoulder opener in the front. Again, I drag the arm across. Can't go anymore, that's it. Then give the assist. A nice stretch. Open it one more time. So let's go back and open it up. And back to neutral position. Okay, nice work, everyone. So that's, when I say that you can take 5 minutes or 15 minutes, so you can do this like 15 times and then do another one 15 times or do it 4 or 5 times. And that's why it takes a little or a lot. But that is the movement. So I'm trying to just bring some of these movements to your attention so you can work through your range of motion. Okay, arms are going to go right back up again. And again, we're isolating the arms, so there is no spinal extension or flexion. There's no movement. The arms are straight. And I'm going to reach a little more to the right and then a little more to the left, ending up with center balance. I'm actually trying to take my arms out of the shoulder socket. So the arms get really long here, chest stays down, and I'm going to do some slow circles. The right arm is clockwise, left arm counterclockwise, and the circle is small. Just kind of feeling my way through this, and then I'm going to slowly make the circle a little bit bigger, trying not to move my ribs, trying not to move anything except the arms, and they start to get heavy after a while. So you'll notice the shoulder muscles kicking in as the circles get bigger. And look straight ahead, plant those feet into the floor, make those circles really big and sweeping without any body flaring motion, okay? As much as you can. And then let the arms go down, shake it out. Move the head around a little bit if you need to, and the arms go back up again with rotation in the other direction circles. This is more of an internal rotation. And you can usually tell internal or external where your muscles start to kick in. So for me, my internal rotation muscles are a little bit weaker because I feel the weight of my arms already kicking in, making the arms feel really heavy. Big circle. Big sweeping circle. And slowly release it and come down. Okay, we'll do one more for the shoulder and then we'll move on to something else. Okay, and bring the arms to the sides, T-shape. Bend the elbows this time with the hands forward. So there's no flexion or extension of the hands, they're just straight in line. We want to keep the elbows up high. And then slowly just tip the arms down, discovering this internal range of motion. So how far can you go? Internally rotating without flexion. So there's no body flexion. And then open, go back without body extension. So think of a ball and socket as you move to close, internal rotation, and then external rotation. Really open, 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 and then close it, close it, close it. While we keep the arms up, so we're building a little strength here as well. And do the last one. Nice big opening. And shake it out and let it go. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side. What we're going to do is this is a part of the folding forward motion, but I'm going to do it in a rolling type fashion. So here's what I'm going to do. Standing, I'm going to tuck the chin into chest first. So this is just a head drop. Head just drops. Chin tucks in. Then I start to send my hips back. As I lean forward, I'm rolling the shoulders forward, essentially just curving my spine and rolling. I keep the chin tucked. I get heavy, like in a ragdoll type position. And that's how I make my way down to the floor. Folding forward. Bring the hands down. Feel the lengthening in the back of the legs, the hamstrings, if you try and straighten your legs out. Keep your chin tucked into your chest. Little bend in both knees. As you start to stand up, keep your chin in your chest the whole time. So you're heavy. Come up, roll up through your spine. That's it. Head is the last to come up. Bring your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your head all the way up. Press your hips forward. And then again, come forward. Tuck your chin into your chest. Let the arms go. And roll forward slowly, one vertebra at a time. I typically exhale as I go down. Stay down here, folded. Shoulders forward, ragdoll position. Slowly coming up. Tuck your chin into your chest, keep it there the whole time. And as you start to stand and straighten, hands can come behind you. Then you look up. A little bit of a back bend, not too much. And one more, we'll do 3. So tuck your chin into your chest, come on down. Again, try to roll, create a roll. And my chin is tucked in the whole time. I'm breathing in and out. I lean forward. Really feel it in the hamstrings and the lower back. Slight bend in your knees, so soft in your knees. Don't lock them out. Equal weight into your feet. Keep your head down. Breathe in and out. And just stay folded in this position. I'm going to stay here for about 15 seconds longer. With deep breath in and deep breath out, just folded in half. Chin still tucked into chest. This also allows me to internally kind of figure out where I am in space, my proprioception, body awareness in space, what muscles are active, core engagement, and slowly start to come up. Up, 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 and then look up, bring your hands behind you again. A little press forward of the hips as you look up and behind. And shake it out and let that go. Okay, nice work. So this is where the balancing part potentially comes in. If you're not quite able to balance, you can hold onto your wall or chair, broom handle, a golf club, it doesn't matter. Try to do it standing without any of those balancing variations if possible. No props if possible. All right, hands to your waist. You're going to roll over the toes on the right side. I think most of you have done this with me. It's like cracking your knuckles, but you're doing it on your feet. You're going to do it just slow at first. The tension level is about a 1 or 2 out of 10, not too much, just kind of checking it out. So you're going to roll over the toes. And when you're doing this, try not to look at your feet. You don't need to lean forward. Again, you're discovering As I speak, just go from side to side for 3-4 seconds. You're discovering the frontal plane, this movement, and also how to avoid the movement. So you take control. So if you're doing this with your feet and you're leaning over, then you're no longer in neutral frontal plane. You're in flexion. Stay straight. Just do this with your feet and look straight ahead. No need to look down. Crack those knuckles as much as you can. Now we're going to get onto the right foot. I'm going to bend the right knee a little bit, maybe a bit more. So I really feel the tension on top of the foot, all the way up to the foot, up onto the shin. I'm just going to hold here as I raise the dial on the tension level up to about a 4. It's pretty good. Maybe a 5. This lengthens all the tissue at the top of the foot all the way up into the shins. It's really, really, really good for us. And then just release, let it go, let the blood flow go back into that space. Keep looking forward. A slight lift, we do the other side. So at first I just get the position. This is the flexibility part of the mobility. And then once I feel pretty comfortable, I'm going to start to dial up the tension to about a 4 or 5. Some movements, we do not want high tension. Otherwise, the body's natural reaction will be to just kick us out. And we can't really hold. Okay, so release, do the right side again. Back to breathing. Now the left foot is firmly placed down. So whatever foot is flat onto the floor, that's firmly grounding. We're going to do the other side. So right foot, press it down. Quite a bit of weight into that right foot, pressure into the right foot, and then lift as the left toes curl over. It's also really good to fracture-proof your ankles. And a lot of this work is slow. It just doesn't happen fast. It doesn't need to be vigorous, but it's really good. This is also super good, particularly when you're finishing off your swing. Your feet turn in these really awkward positions. We're going to do one more on the right side. All right, and this we're going to add a little bit more movement this time. So this time I'm on the foot. I'm going to use the top of the foot, more the knuckles, as my pivot point. And then I'm going to create an internal leg rotation. I'm turning the right leg in as the left foot and leg are pushing down into the floor for stability. We need to be able to freely move the leg in and out of that hip socket where the pelvis just stays neutral. Now we're going to turn out, external rotation. So you're turning the right hip out, turn the left thigh out the other direction. So you're essentially trying to open up your pelvis right through the center, just like opening a book. Squeeze the glute muscle. You should be feeling the glute muscle on the right side. This is what predominantly creates this external rotation. So that glute muscle in the back should be fairly active here. Now we're going to bring it back for that internal rotation, softening the muscle in the back with all of the adductors here in the center, drawing the leg in. So again, this is an internal rotation on top of the pelvis. And while I'm here, I don't just stand here. I'm actively turning my leg in. So I really feel the tension opening up into that space. And then one more out, external rotation. And trying to find balance as best you can. And slowly back to neutral and step it out a little bit. Okay, see how you feel. Nice work, everyone. Let's do the other side. Left foot. Let's just get into the position. Feels good. And I'm going to internally rotate. So again, what muscle groups are required inside of the leg to just turn everything in and create that range of motion? We're doing kind of what we did with remember what we did with our arms? We're doing that with the leg. So if you were to assist, you probably have more range of motion here, but you don't want the pelvis turning. And then externally rotate without a pelvic movement, just the leg turning out and those muscles required to create this movement. So now the stuff inside softens, the stuff on the outside and the back towards the glute strengthens and contracts to create the opening. And keep on opening once you've reached the position. So you don't actually stop the muscle engagement, you keep it going. Let's go back inside, internal rotation. And by the way, if you did this for like 10 seconds on either side, it doesn't really do anything. You do actually have to give it a bit of time. It just requires this engagement and purposeful movement to get deep into the range of motion. So that's basically what we're doing, is just creating range of motion. Okay, open up, let's go one more time. And also exchanging vital fluids here, right? If we don't go through these deeper ranges of motion, the fluids tend to stick inside. So this is somewhat like giving us an oil change as well. It's good. And back to neutral again. Okay, step it out a little bit. You can, by the way, gang, have a little bit of water anytime you wish. I can already feel some pretty good activity through the hips as we go through the next movement. Okay, arms by the side again. Lift the knee up and down a few times. Again, I'm trying to do this without holding on to anything, just balancing. So knee up, knee down. Stop, leg off to the side, little, not too much. Just whatever range of motion you can handle without doing too much tipping in either direction. Just the leg isolating the movement. Okay, back to neutral. Now I'm going to lift the right leg forward, bend the knee and turn the leg out. Start to lift the knee up. I'm going to lift the knee up like so. Knee is at hip height and I'm turning, creating an external rotation. And then an internal rotation. So it's a pendulum movement of the lower leg. Okay. External rotation to an internal rotation without leaning forward into flexion or extension. So keep neutral frontal plane, side to side. Now I'm going to internally rotate as the right leg goes out to the side, and without leaning forward, or as much as I can avoid that, I'm going to kick the leg back, straighten the leg, come through, one more time through middle, center. Bend the knee, turn the knee up. Pendulum swing your leg side to side. So it's the lower leg that's moving, not the whole leg, just the lower leg. And then take it internal rotation, kick back. Leg high, and we'll go one more time. So 3 full times. Go forward, bend the knee, turn the foot up, and then internal rotation, external rotation. It's a pendulum swing of that lower leg. I'm really trying to pay attention, not get distracted, so I can hold my balance. And out, internal rotation, kick back, and back to standing. Okay, nice work, everyone. So your range of motion when we do these leg movements within the ball and socket joint, if we have less range of motion, when we do these movements, our upper body and other parts of the body start to kick in. If we can really isolate, we have greater range of motion and more control over that range of motion. So that's kind of the gauge. If you find yourself really going all over the map, it's the range of motion that's not quite there just yet, okay? And that's where the practice comes in, because the more we practice, the better we get. Left side. Let's check the left side, see how that works. Left leg up, forward. Bend the knee and lift the leg up, and then external rotation. Looks like so. And I'm looking straight ahead, trying to really plant this right foot into the floor, and then do an internal rotation without leaning forward or back. External rotation, internal rotation. And what's this side feeling like for you? Check it out. So we do that little pendulum movement from side to side. Again, do it slowly. And last one is an internal rotation. Whoa, almost wiped out. And then I'm going to kick back. Try not to lean. Leg goes all the way back. And then forward with control. Lift the leg up, bend the knee, and repeat while standing on the right leg as much as you can. Pendulum swing. Okay, internal rotation, shin goes out, and then again, I'm going to kick back, open the hip up, try not to lean. Forward, we're going to do one more, come up, and lift the knee. And it's an external rotation, so the inside of the foot is being pressed up to the ceiling to externally rotate and then internally rotate. External and internal for that pendulum. How are we doing on time? Awesome. And this last one, internal, kick back, kick back, kick back, and release. Hoo-ah. Okay. Nice work, everyone. Those are cars. We'll do just one last one to bring some circular motion to the hips. You've got a hula hoop. It's a great thing to do. So now the femurs, the top big leg bones, are staying steady, and we're just rolling the pelvis on top of the femur. Before we were moving the leg into the socket, now we're moving the entire pelvis on top of the femur. And we require a lot of this range of motion, external, internal, for the golf swing. Okay, back in the other direction now. Try not to lean forward or back. Again, watch that frontal plane so you're in neutral position, simply moving the hips or pelvis, if you will. Okay, nice work, everybody. Shake it out. Again, a little bit of water. Our movement classes, or in these sessions, will always start that way. Breathing, grounding, cars. Now we'll start to focus on some of the movements in the frontal plane. So we're going to start off with in a tabletop position. You're going to come down onto hands and knees with your hands right out in front of you. Fingers straight out. The wrists are underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. So I'm folded in this tabletop position, folded forward. And from here, I'm going to, again, create some circles. Do it slowly. And this time we're doing a circular movement through both shoulders and the hips as well at the same time, while in a folded position, but on our knees. Now I'm making the circle a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Discover your range of motion now with just a slight amount of strength added to it as well here. Okay, we're going to come to slow it down and other direction. Just make sure your fingers are spread wide. That takes up all the pressure of the body weight into the hands, and I increase the circle now. And we think about circular motion because that's what the joint capsules allow us to do. Circles, nice big circles. Okay, neutral position. This time what I'm going to do is lift my hands up and turn the thumbs to face forward. So the thumbs face forward, the shoulders will be out, and do the same circles as the shoulders externally rotate. Circle gets bigger. Once the arm starts going out, or the hands turn out this way, the range of motion changes. So typically it will increase a little bit. Maybe for some of you decrease, we'll just see. Okay, big circle, last one, and then slow it down. And let's take it into the other direction. Does not have to be quick. There's nothing quick about these movements. Discovering range of motion and body awareness happens really slow. So that's what we're doing here, is just creating patterns of movement so that we become a bit more comfortable with these patterns that may be not that familiar to us. Okay, I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to, last time, turn the hands out as far as you can go. The fingers will come back to face the knees if that's possible. I'm going to go back into a tabletop position, keep the palms pressing down, and be very cautious here as the hands are turned all the way back. I'm going to do that same range of motion, and here it just gets a little bit less and very different. Circle gets somewhat bigger, not too much. I don't have a lot here. And then slow it down and take it in the other direction. Okay, really nice. Take the palms up, shake the hands out, allow the blood flow to go back into the space. Really good. All right, nice work. Now, from here, we're going to stay folded, and we're going to get into thoracic shoulder mobility. In this position, I'm going to take the right elbow up. So bend the arm, bring your right fingertips to cup the right ear. Left hand is really strong into the floor, like a push-up position with one arm. And then I'm going to open the chest up as I lift the right elbow up to the ceiling, trying to get the right shoulder on top of the left. Open up. And then as you come down, the right elbow is going to come close to the floor onto the left thumb. And then go back up, straighten the left arm, and go back and look up. Twist open. And come back down. Tap the elbow close to the left thumb. Come back, lift, hold. Now extend your right arm all the way up. Tuck the right arm behind the left and drop the right shoulder down. Sit your hips back and reach the left arm forward. So this is what you're creating, this arm across your body. Right arm goes down, left arm goes forward, hips go back. So you're trying to get lengthening through the front of the right shoulder in this folded flexion position. The sensation here is the outside of the right shoulder. Now I'm going to start to walk the left hand over to the right, doing a bit of a crisscross, cross body chain stretch. So my right arm is going to the left. My left arm is going to the right. I'm sending my hips back. Kind of a pretzel shape, really, but super good for a range of motion. And then take the left arm back to neutral. Come on out. Position the left arm for strength and lift that right arm one more time. Lift up, straight up, straight up. Tuck it under one more time, drop the shoulder. And you'll do it again, come on up. Lift, Open up that shoulder and then bring the arm to neutral position. We're going to do the other side. So let's do the other side. Right arm is straight, strong in the shoulder in a push-up position. Cup the left ear with your fingers, bend the left elbow, look down, take a breath, and then start to look to the side as you open up. So I'm tighter on this side. I also notice I can't do much rotation here. I'm going to hold, take a deep breath, come down, left elbow taps the floor beside the right thumb. As you come back up, look up, twist. One more elbow tap down. Come on up, open. Now hold here, look up, lift the left arm up, and tuck the left arm all the way down and across your body to the right side. Lower your hips back, reach the right arm forward, and drop that left shoulder. So the tension here is on the outside of the left shoulder. I'm still breathing, so make sure you're breathing. And then you're going to walk the right hand to the left as much as you can, getting a cross-body stretch as we continue to stay folded. Try and maintain your breathing as best as you can. Nice deep breathing in and out. That also relaxes and calms our nervous system down and allows us to get into these positions and postures. Okay, I'm going to bring the right arm back, lift my body up, lift the left arm up, take a big breath, tuck the arm all the way under, and come back up, lift, open, nice big breath, back to a tabletop position, and do some slow circles. Okay, slow circles. Okay, nice work, everyone. That was a great series, being folded, doing all these different positions. Now we're going to try something. So this is regular table. We're going to give reverse table a shot. Okay, let's give this a shot. Reverse table, so you're going to sit down. The hands are forward in this position, so they're not turned out. The hands are fingers going forward. Plant the hands down, bend your knees, look straight ahead. Now roll your shoulders back and send your hips up. This is a reverse table position. Press your hips up, press your chest up, shoulders back, and then do some circles in tabletop, reverse table. Keep pressing your hips up as you do this circular motion. Make the circles bigger. And then go in the other direction. And then bring the butt down. Extend the legs. Arms go straight up and then hinge forward. Try and grab onto the outsides of your feet. Keep your spine straight. And you're going to tip forward. Don't roll the spine. We want the spine straight. And now we're going to go back into reverse table again. This time the fingers are out to the side with the thumbs forward. Exactly what you did before. Fingers out, thumbs forward, arms behind you, bend the knees. Reverse tabletop position with the thumbs facing forward. Roll the shoulders back and open as you press your hips up. And if you can, try and do some circles in this direction, or pick a direction. Again, really slow, some strength required here. I'm going to slow it down, other direction. You're looking up and you're pressing your hips up at the same time. Also chest lifting up. Big circle, last one, bringing the butt down. Nice work. Bend the right knee, left leg stays straight. Lift both arms up, turn to the left foot, and then lean forward as you keep the, try and keep your right knee, see how my right knee's up? That's my hip challenge. Try and keep your right knee flat onto the floor as you lean forward. So at the frontal plane motion, inflection. So the spine is in flexion, the right hip is open, and I'm turning the left foot out as well as I lean forward in this position. It's like a half butterfly. And slowly come up, straighten the leg. Okay, we're gonna try one more reverse table as much as you can this time. The fingers go all the way behind you. This is a full external shoulder rotation. Bend the knees, feet down, and then press up with an external. So the fingers are going back. Wide open shoulders, press your hips up, and then do the circles if you can. If this is not in your wheelhouse, I can't quite see all of you as I'm doing this. If it's not quite there for you, then you can just cool it back a little bit or take a break. Keep the hips up, and then other direction. I'm really trying to open up through the shoulders. And then we're going to come down. Extend the right leg, bend the left leg in, try and bring that left knee down. And opening both hips, arms go up. I'm going to turn to the right leg and hinge forward. I'm trying to keep my spine straight, so I'm not rolling over. Shoulders are not collapsing. Shoulders are back, chest forward. Nice work, everyone. And back up to that neutral position. Extend the legs straight. And this time, just butterfly the legs. So you're going to bend both knees. Both knees come in, feet to touch at the bottom. So soles of the feet to touch, scoot your hips forward. Hold on to your toes and try and lean forward. Trying to bring your chest as close to your feet as you can. Hips are open, spine is straight, and I'm just leaning forward. Really just trying to open up a lot of stiff tissue for me to try and lean forward a bit more with a straight spine. Okay, straight spine. Notice if the heels are coming apart or staying together. I'm trying to keep my feet together with my hands and creating this forward tilting motion. So if you think about addressing the ball, this is without, of course, this foot leg position, we are simply just tipping forward with a straight spine, shoulders back. Okay, release that. Nice work, everyone. Come down onto your back. Bring both knees in, head down, and rock your weight side to side. Just a little rocking motion side to side. And if you can, you're going to grab onto the outer edges of your feet. Take the legs wide as if you were in a squatting position with your head down. Keep your tailbone down onto the floor as close to it as you can. Adjust your legs if the tailbone is too high. And then again, rocking your weight side to side, breathing deeply. You can close your eyes now. You can also adjust. If you can't hold on to the outsides of your feet, hold on to your shins. Minimize the tension, open up the hips. And lying down here with the legs like this, it's like being folded, except we're lying down. And then release that. Slowly, we're going to come up to a seated position, just the way we started. Cross your legs. Sit up really tall. straight spine, arms by your side. Okay, I feel really good. Oh, this is good. Okay, chest forward, looks forward, and let's turn the head to the right. Nice big turn to that right side. Drop the ear as you look up to the ceiling. Head circle all the way to that left side. Drop the ear to the shoulder. Drag the chin across your chest. Hold in the middle. Lift your head straight up. All the way up and high. Tuck your chin into your chest. Drop it down. And one more time to center, then to the left. Ear drops to the shoulder as you look up. Really contract the muscles in the back to get that full head circle. Go in the other direction. Head to the right, head drops down, full head circle, come to middle, and then back to center. All right, gang, that's it. That's it for today. Frontal motion. Okay, planes of movement. Next time, we're going to be doing the transverse, so more twisting stuff the next time around. Stay safe, everyone. Glad to see you online, and this will be recorded and back online so you can follow it anytime you like. Okay, see you.